Hi, my name's Justin DeRoy. You tuned in for a new episode of Canceled Misfits. So for today, we actually are going to have our very first cable show reviewed on here. From NTV, we have the show The Hard Times of R.J. Berger. So what the show is about a kid named, obviously, R.J. Berger, who is like one of the most unpopular kids in school, till during this basketball match, one of the bullies in the school pants him from the entire school, only to reveal to the entire school that the kid has apparently a massive penis, suddenly making him to the least talked about kid in school to one of the most talked about. Cast for the show was Paul Locarno, Amber Lancaster, and Cara Tates, or at least were some of the more predominant characters in the show. So highlights for the show. Cast really, for me, didn't really particularly stand out, but what I did really like about the show was I thought it had some really great humor in it. Plus, I thought it just had like a really kind of unique teen drama kind of story to it. Because, there's tons of like these kind of like underdog stories out there, but none of which I think I've ever heard of one about a kid who suddenly becomes popular just because he reveals to his entire school that he has an enormous penis. So yeah, that was really one of the things that really kind of drew me into the story, like the very, very uniquely bizarre story of this kid, R.J. Berger. So going into the ratings of the show, so in the year of its release, it showed some actually very good ratings. In fact, it was one of the highest rated shows on MTV for the year of its release. But unfortunately, it did end up dropping slightly in its second year of release. But so for reviews, it wasn't really all that surprising, obviously, with such high ratings, that it did have to start out some very positive reviews from both fans and critics. But it did seem like, obviously, seeing that the ratings dropped, so did the audience's approval of the show, because it did, of course, start dropping quite a bit during the second season. And so now moving on to the final thoughts on like what I think really happened with the show, how it got canceled, is basically I believe that it was just a case of the show's network just trying to make way for other shows that they thought were more popular and would bring in a larger audience. And this was actually pretty much confirmed, actually, back when the show had canceled. They had a article basically explaining why they had decided to cancel it on MTV's website, basically saying that they wanted to basically make way for more reality shows and were starting to do away with most of their scripted television. And I'm pretty sure at this point, as far as I know, I haven't watched much on MTV's content lately, but majority, all of it is all just like reality TV shows. I don't even think they have anything scripted anymore. But, sometimes networks have to make these decisions because, it's what's best for their channel, so they can continue bringing in, a decent amount of viewers, to keep their channel going. I, of course, find it unfortunate because, they didn't even have a bunch of, scripted content to begin with, and this was like one of the only things I think that I really enjoyed on MTV back then. So I do find it a little lame that they don't really have much scripted content on there anymore. But, things happen and, you just got to move on. But, yeah, that's going to wrap up this episode of Cancel Misfits. So just like to thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out some of the other content we have on the channel, such as on Tuesday, me and my brother do a Hi-Fi Pop, where we basically just review and talk about Funko Pops. Plus, we have our brand new show that's premiering on Friday. This is the show High Five's Brain Dump. Basically, it's a variety news show where I'm just going over various news topics, out there. And, yep, that's it for me today. Thanks for tuning in again. Goodbye.